right, looks like we have started streaming. Okay, we have started streaming. There we go. And then, so let's go ahead and pop that chat out. Let's get the address off of that. And if you're watching on YouTube, we are just setting up right now. Let's see here. Let's see if we can make that work. I don't know how well this will work. We're going to try this. Delete V. And we're going to keep the width, and we're going to change this to 200. I'm going to say OK. So there we go. All right, so we'll just put you down here, I guess. Oh, looks RC's here already. Hey, RC. Just getting things set up a little bit. Nothing crazy going on here. You know, I think I'll put that up here. That way you guys will be able to see this. And I think we're going to be, I think that box will go away sooner or later. We'll find out if I made this big enough. If we get enough other people. Let's try here. Test. And that should try to push that box out of the way. Trying to find the latency on it right now. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, it'll disappear. I got to fix that. That's not going to work. No, I may have to get rid of that chat because I don't have it set up to be transparent. 300. And we're going to say, okay. There we go. I don't know why it's making that all the way it is. Let's go ahead and close that. Kind of bothersome the way that is working. I should be seeing a lot more stuff in there than that. Well, shit. Maybe if I do this instead. I'll just hide it. Screw it. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we got RC's in there. And then let me get the old TikTok fired up here. And RC, if you could let me know how my sound is, that would be great. I'm trying to, looks like Violet's there. Hello, Violet. Violet was there a second ago, and now she's gone. Let's see. Hopefully my sound is going to be coming through loud enough for the old TikTok to hear it. Violet, if you can, it looks like Violet.
I don't care if you're coming to Vegas for the first time or the 101st time. The 3 local restaurants.
That's TikTok making that noise. Let me go ahead and unmute. I'm going to turn her volume all the way up. Yeah, Violet, you currently have your mic and your sound muted. Let's see here. Let's go live. Holy crap, that was a weird looking thing. Okay. So what do we got here? I need to adjust this. All right. We're going to have to get rid of some of that. Jesus Christ, this thing's a pain in the ass. All right. That should have us going live right there. Yeah, Violet, if you're trying to say something, I cannot hear you. I can't tell. You've got your mic muted and your sound in your headset is off. And looks like we got 2 inside. Audio and video good on YouTube. Thank you, RC. I appreciate it. 5 by 5. All right, what do we got here? Oh, and you just said something. I hear you. How you doing?
I'm sorry. I was trying to keep my mic with my kid in the background to still be able to hear, but I'm trying to figure out how to work this thing.
I got you. It looks like you're on your phone, so it can be a little tricky using the phones. That's for definitely for sure.
I am not good with electronics. They're all friends.
I got you. Well, I think this is the first time you're in here, so just so you know, you are being transmitted on YouTube and TikTok right now, live. So just be aware of that. Nothing serious, but I always like to warn people when they first come on. Yeah, okay? You didn't get scared off, did you?
Oh, no, I'm not scared. Maybe a little bit embarrassed.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. Yeah. You're all garbled. You're garbled, young lady.
I'm so sorry. My kid is told.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about. I see you muted your mic. That's cool. We're going to basically the focus of this chat is going to be on, and I'm trying to get a live feed into YouTube at all also while we're talking about this. Basically, I have YouTube there, and I have TikTok there, and I have Discord over there. But it's all completely 100% live. I'm watching the chats. Is the Walmart audio is video? Is that the Walmart camping knife? That is the Walmart camping knife that you're seeing on YouTube right now. Let's see here. Middle screen and camera. Gonna mess up YouTube for a second. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Haha. There we go. Let's just go ahead and copy that, and we'll jump back over here to left screen, and we'll go like that. And we're gonna make that smaller so you guys can still see me. I think that'll do the trick right there for the YouTubers, so they can actually see what's going on here. Let's see. So we got several people. What is Discord? Sporto says Discord is a chatting app that you can use on your phone. You can use it on your PC. Pretty much, you can use it pretty much on anything. If you go to the link in my bio, it'll take you to my webpage. And on the very first page, just scroll down and you'll see the word Discord. Just click on it and you'll be able to drop into our Discord. Oh, I see Black Fox just dropped in. He looks like he's adjusting his sound. Black Fox just jumped into the Discord. How you doing, man?
Yo, yo, yo.
There we go. Just so you know, you're live on TikTok and YouTube right now.
Great.
So what have you been up to? I haven't talked to you since the convoy.
Yeah, it's been a little while, man. Just been busy, getting things ready and hunkering down, and
Yep. No, let's see. That's actually the title of the stream. The window is closing. Things are starting to get a little hairy. And it's unfortunate, but it is true. And the more we ignore what's happening, the worse it's actually going to get. And it will be that proverbial clip where it just drops right off, and our money is worthless, and do you got enough of everything? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So what have you been working on anything specifically?
The main thing I've been trying to get right now is getting my my radio stuff, my communication stuff down right now. Trying to pick out the right, radio and trying to figure out which one's the best to get.
Yeah.
You hear so many people are so biased against certain radios and stuff like that, and then getting my EMP bags. So
I gotcha. What type of radio are you looking for?
So one that is, I guess, one that's decent. I just been using YouTube to look at different reviews on different radios. I've seen some about the Bofang and a couple other ones.
I gotcha. Okay, so you're looking for like the handheld HF what's it, VHF and UHF radios,
Yep.
I gotcha. Yeah. No, I always recommend the Bofangs. What it all comes down to is you have people that are kind of like what I would call like a radio snob. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong, okay? But when it's in the current economy, if you want to spend 4 times more than you need to on a Motorola that sounds crisp and clear, or do you want to spend only 25% of that budget on something that actually works just as well? It just doesn't have those micro little adjustments in there that make it sound like it's in stereo. That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down. I own 4 Bofangs. And the biggest problem you have with Bofangs is programming them. But I've got a solution for that I'm actually going to be doing a video on. I showed some people it last night. It is inside of my Amazon store. But if you want to hold off just a little longer, I can get you some links to it, and you will be able to you basically get to program your radio with your cell phone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I've just got to sit down, figure it out, and then I'm going to make like a little video on how easy it is. I mean, if I can figure it out, anybody can. And it's Bluetooth. You just plug it right into the side of the Bofang, turn the Bofang on, turn it on, and it touches your your cell phone, and then you can start putting in the stuff that you need to put in. Now, the reality is that we still have to always do the legwork. We have to do the we have to know the frequencies that are particular to our area. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's kind of useless. But at the minimum, you put the FRS frequencies in there. You put the GMRS frequencies in there. You get your NOAA frequency for weather. And then you kind of look around and figure out some other stuff that you might want to put in there. But once you do that, once you've got that, now it's in your cell phone, and you can literally take that device and plug it in take it from one Bofang to the next Bofang, and bam, you're done.
Right. I like that.
All right, let's see. But yeah, no, dude, I will definitely be putting that inside of the Discord, and if you guys if everyone else is looking at my webpage on YouTube, that's what my webpage looks like on the left-hand side of the screen. It looks a little different on your phone because I don't think your phone will play the video that's running in the background of me like talking, holding the knife off, shit like that. But the reality is that just go to the my store and look in electronics, and you'll see it'll be like a ghost image of a Bofang and a little Bluetooth device sticking out of it. But like I said, for my friends like Black Fox and whoever else is actually in there, I see Scott from Florida's in here, Violet's in here. I would ask that you guys hold off. That way I can actually do a proper review. I would hate for you to buy something that it's not going to work, But I mean, I'm looking at it. I did buy it. I have it in the other room. I have to make a video on it. So save your money for right now. But definitely, if you want to order some Bofangs, I can find you a link to one of the problems that people that make a mistake. And I do see you, Gerald, the 148 Cobra, excellent high quality radio, but it's also much more expensive than the standard Bofang. Let's see here. I got some flint sticks. That's nice. Let's see here. Let me see if we have any other chats here. What is Discord? We talked about that. Okay, so let's see. I could get you some links to the Baofangs with the appropriate setup, because a lot of people just buy them and they end up with these little bitty antennas on them, and it's like they can't talk to anybody. So you definitely need the longer antenna, you need the bigger battery, and there are certain packages out there that you can get so that you don't have to go searching for all that crap. You know what I'm saying, Black Fox? Oh, Black Fox muted his mic. Okay, but that means he's listening to me. That's good. It means he's doing other things. He's multitasking right now. And so I'll get those links out to you guys as soon as I can. And I'm going to look at the chat here. It looks like user prison number 4241282903188. How long have you had your account, user 4241282903188? But he's saying, this person is saying, SCOTUS to overrule election, prepare for blackouts. If you could be a little bit more, if you could provide a little bit more information on that, we would definitely want to hear about it. Let's see here. There's nobody else talking in that chat right now, but that's okay. That stuff will fix that. If the people that are in the chat on TikTok, could you do me a favor? Just start smashing the screen, start tapping the hell out of it. Because what happens is that we could have 100 people in here and they could like what they're hearing, but the way the algorithm works is that if you don't like, then it doesn't draw anybody else in. And then we just settle down. You know, it settles down to nothing. And then we're not getting the word out. And that's what we're really here to talk about today, is getting the word out. We've got to get to the point where people are paying attention. One of the things, I have antennas and batteries already. I won't program until I move into my new place. Gotcha. Baofeng is good enough. I have yet to program. Yeah, exactly. So what we've got to do is we've got to, I've been talking about this with the Patreons, and we have got to start talking to our loved ones. We have got to start talking to our friends. We have even got to start talking to the people that think that we're crazy. This is kind of a mission of mine, to make sure that people know, you know, what the hell is going on, because there's so many that are just in complete denial, running around with their head in the sand. And it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think that these are the same people that are going to be trying to, you know, walk up on your doorstep, and you know, and then it's all situational after that. You know, what do you do? How do you handle? Have you prepared for this particular situation to happen? You know, and yeah, so we want to try and stop that from happening. You know, obviously you want to be careful with the people that are around you and their knowledge of your preparedness and things like that. But we also have to look out for our loved ones, because whether we like it or not, they're the ones that are going to show up on our doorsteps. Let me roll back here. I just had to shoot this word out here real quick on the mainstream. I'm going to try and look at TikTok online. It's working, but I can see the chat better that way. Let's see here. And then we're going to pop that chat out. Pop out chat. And we're going to put you over there. Oh, let's see. Just minimize. Oh, I don't want to minimize all that. Wow, I don't even want. Oh, I just broke the hell out of that, didn't I? What have I done? What do we got here? There it is. Let's go back to that, and then let's go ahead and pop that chat over here. There we go. And then I'll just be looking at the chats instead of trying to stare at my phone here. All the people, they call me crazy and seeing the truth now. Just another person, 434. Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. People will... The world is changing. The world is changing, and I'm going to move this over here so the cameras are closer to each other. The world is changing at such a rapid rate, and people are not paying attention to it, you know. Let's see here. Scott moved to TikTok. Gotcha. Do you have a license? No, I do not have a license, because I don't need a license to use my radio legally in an emergency scenario. Let's see. You know, Wow. Wow. Someone's really trying to raise the likes out there, but some people are slacking. Just start tapping that phone here. Let's see. Can I do it myself? I don't know if I can give myself all those likes or not. I mean, it's making hearts on my screen. Oh, shit. I just did some crazy zooming in stuff here. I've done something. We need to draw the people in so they know what's going on. But, no, I don't feel like they're paying attention. Some are obvious. Yes, some people are just like completely lost in the sauce. They just want to go to Starbucks. They just want to get their frappuccino latte, creamy, grande, whatever it is, you know. Scott, Prepper Talk Radio. What's happening? We're talking about the window that's closing in and how to warn our friends and relatives to get them online, to get them into the appropriate mindset. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot to be said for just being nice to people, and there's a lot to be said for here we go. It's illegal to transmit in a life or death. Oh, it's legal, and they aren't there when there aren't alternatives. Yep, very true. So, and it's really distracting. I've got YouTube, Discord, and TikTok right here. So, I didn't notify me when you were live. I'm sorry. TikTok doesn't like me. Let's see. I've been dealing with my whole life. Kindness and helping. Yeah, you know, I mean, we have to do that. You know, it's. Let me turn. Let me adjust this. This my setup. It took me like 5 minutes setting this whole thing up. You know, I literally just drove into town and had a meeting with the Patreons. So when SHTF is going to matter about a living. When SHTF isn't going to matter about living. KK4LUW. I don't know what that means. That's the only way to get them to pay attention. Ben Dealers. God. You know, it's a tough subject. It's a tough subject because many preppers, now I'm out in the open. A lot of them have been covering their faces. A lot of people don't talk about it. You know, I have stickers all over my car. People know that I'm a prepper. I understand that they may show up at my house, and, you know, I understand all of the things that are associated with, you know, the possibility of that kind of stuff happening. But most preppers are very quiet. They don't tell people about what they have because they know their surroundings. You know, my surroundings are very stable. They're very understanding. They're a lot of very like-minded people in the regions that I stay at. You know, I've picked those particularly. One was by chance. One was by luck. You know, when the SHTF license isn't going to matter. Exactly. I'll be honest with the whole license thing. I started to study for it, and it's just incredibly boring. I've been into the worst places on the planet using military SATCOM on my back. I don't need a government organization. I don't need to pay a government organization to give me a number and then attach it to an address that people can look at on a map 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And see my name, my call sign, my address, the day I joined, the day I got my license, the day my license expires. I don't need to do any of that to push a button and talk to somebody. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so back on point. So how do we talk to these people? How do we talk to our loved ones? Well, we do it from use a P.O. box. I have a P.O. box. If you want to send me something nice, it's on the webpage. It's on my contact sheet. Let's see here. Let's see. Many people will give away their OPSEC because of radios. Mainly, we should listen only almost always. Yeah, I mean, that is very true. I'm a poor cracker on a tractor. Yes, we know that, window licker. Window liquor, you're here for your ounce of attention, and I'm going to give it to you. Oh my God. But so when we speak to these friends and these loved ones about, the fact that things are getting out of control, we have to do it from a place of honest concern, from love, and we have to do it in a way that doesn't make us sound like crazy tinfoil hat nutbags. A lot of times you can just say, have you been seeing the news? What do you think of that? How do you feel about these high gas prices? How do you feel about the lack of food on the shelves from time to time? What have you been doing, to try and get around that? Maybe you've got some kind of tip or trick that you can help me with, Maybe you can educate me somehow, And a lot of times they'll tell you. And then you can be like, wow, that's a great idea. I never thought of that. And then you could that opens up a dialogue that you can use to eventually, after several questions, say, hey, so you've been stockpiling, right? Have you been putting some food away? Have you been, Oh, yeah. Well, what about water? Have you been putting water away? Do you have protection? Those are my real, if you're new to the channel, those are my 3 things that I always tell every single brand new prepper. The 3 pillars for success for a brand new prepper in a niche situation like this is water, food, and firepower. It's that easy. Now, you may get yourself dead doing any one of those 3 things, but at least you're not going to die of thirst, you're not going to die of hunger, and you're not going to die on your back or on your knees, Let's see here. How do you feel? Let me look over here. I keep doing that. That's stupid. How do you feel Russia is going to use nukes? Read Peter 3:10 Bible. No, I'm not religious. I just try to be a good person. I couldn't tell you much about the Bible, even though I've read it a few times. So here's the thing about nukes. I literally had somebody. It's kind of funny because I actually get. I'll make a video on YouTube, and then I'll get a new subscriber, and they'll start watching all my old videos. And so somebody had watched a video that I made on EMPs and their effects, and he wrote me, or I think it's a he. Basically he told me he was a Marine, but he thinks that there's just once a nuclear weapon is used that it's nothing is survivable, and that's absolutely not true. There's some very bad things. There's a lot of ways to get yourself in the dead zone real fast, but there are ways, if you are not near the detonation site, that to increase your level of survivability. And his stance was, it's just pretty much over, man. I don't even know why we even try. And I haven't replied to him yet because I don't know exactly what to say. Normally, a Marine has gone through nuclear, biological, chemical, or CBRN training several times before they leave active duty. And I didn't get the feeling that he actually knew what he was talking about. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to say about it. But there are people out there that don't know what tools to have and use to increase their possibility of surviving. I think that a lot of people, how do I say this without hurting a lot of feelings here? I mean, there's only 10 of you in here, and I have 147,000 followers on TikTok. So clearly a lot of them don't want to talk or don't want to listen, or it's Friday night, they're out getting drunk, and I completely understand that. But for the ones that are here, that means that they want to hear what's being said, and I honestly believe that a nuclear detonation will probably never take place on U.S. soil. What I will tell you is that there is the distinct possibility that a EMP weapon, a EMP nuclear detonation, that means a weapon that's detonated high in the atmosphere, is a very good probability. Now, if it's detonated high enough up, if it's done like maybe if the Russians did it, they would probably do it at 240 miles up, and there would be little to no radiation effects whatsoever, and it would just knock out everything that has we wouldn't be doing any of this stuff, you know. All of our radios wouldn't be working unless we had an extra one in a Faraday cage, you know, and you know if we hadn't planned for that happening. But I don't believe that. Now there is an alternative. I did a video on this. I think it was day before yesterday. It kind of snuck through the cracks. So I want to say it was the Examiner had written had caught wind of it and then wrote an article about the possibility of Iran trying to use an EMP against the United States. And then, you know, the direct mentality was, it's not possible. They're in Iran. They don't have the capability. They don't have ballistic weapons. And it's like people are not thinking about, you know, let me tell you something. When somebody wants to kill you, they're going to try and find a way of doing it. If somebody wants to hurt you or be vindictive, they're going to try and find a way to do it. So one of the things that came up in the research was that there's in April 28th, there was actually a paper that was written for the Senate that was written by Department of Homeland Security. It was a report from the Department of Homeland Security that talked about Iran's capabilities, what they might plan on doing, and what some of their intelligence had told them. And it was odd because it actually confirmed a Senate investigation or Senate hearing that came up in 2005 where they had talked about all they really have to do is put a Scud on a freighter and then take it up to our coastline and launch it as high as it'll go. And they would literally, like that, turn off all the electrons on the entire east coast of the United States and probably part of Canada. You know, it's funny too because I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if you remember this, but about a year ago, there was a whole thing where the Iranian ships were dropping off of the tracking system, the GPS tracking system that you can use to watch freighters move across the world on the oceans. And they were like getting close to South America, and then boom, they would disappear. Nobody knew where they were going. You know, I think Iran sent their flagship over to somewhere in South America. And so people were worried about that happening. Now, if that could happen there, why can't it happen here? And yes, there are very few U.S. naval vessels that are patrolling the shores or the coastal waters of America. That's the Coast Guard. And even then, that's questionable as well. So they get close enough, you know, and then they bang a right and turn off their trackers and yeah. So it's very possible, you know. Let's see. Arrow Helms just became my top viewer. I appreciate that. You give me all sorts of roses. I do not know what that means, but I do appreciate it. Let's see. Window Lickers. I just like speaking with like-minded people. Gotcha. You know I'm fucking with you, Window Licker. If you're in the impact zone, yeah, you're toast, but can survive outside the zone. Yeah, I mean, it's mathematics. It's science. You know, it is very possible. Now, the biggest problem with, you know, I got to be careful here because, yeah, I worked for the government for a long time. The feasibility of survivability for a being outside of the impact. Hey, what's up, Pineapple? Thanks for showing up. Hopefully you got those kids asleep. Is reasonably high as long as you're not in the direct impact zone. As long as you're not in the blast wave, you know, then that's going to be based off of, you know, the kiloton rating of the weapon, whether it was a MIRV or a single explosion. I mean, there's so many variables. But the important thing to remember is that if it happens inside of our atmosphere, radiation is going to eventually make it someplace. because it eventually does move around with the weather. I don't know if you remember when they had the whole meltdown in Japan, the Fukushima plant, and the radiation that was moving all over the place, how they were tracking the cloud that was moving to the United States, and somehow it never made it here. I don't know. Maybe they fired up the magic wind machine and blew it back. But they were tracking it coming across the Pacific. So it does move. Fallout itself is initially not a huge problem. I'm sorry, it initially is a huge problem, but eventually the rate of decay increases over time. It actually exponentially by a factor of a certain number. And so eventually that fallout becomes not radioactive. The ground is a problem because now the ground is radioactive. You got to get rid of the top. Probably anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of topsoil has to go. Where do you put it? It's the real question. But because you won't be able to plant anything until you do that. Removing radiation from water is no easy task. So unless you have water stored, you won't be able to plant anything. Whoa! What the hell just happened? Removing radiation from water. I don't know. Easy task. So unless you have water stored, you won't be able to plant anything. So sound is. What the hell just happened? Oh, hey, turn your mic off. So unless you have water stored, you won't be able to plant anything. So sound is. What the hell just happened? Oh, hey, turn your mic off. There we go. Or not. I don't understand what's happening. Something is. There we go. Or not. I don't understand what's happening. Something is. Okay. TikTok just decided to start playing sound. It was all me, guys. It was all me. Violet, you're okay. That was weird. Let's see if we can get that chat window back up. There it is. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. It did, but they never made it public. Berkeley College in California determined it had some beaches here. I gotcha. It's the local prepper. It's all my fault, Scott. I gotcha. I'm still muted in Discord. Oh, you got a crazy ass name. You got a crazy ass name in TikTok there, Violet. Okay, so those are the issues. We could do a live. We could do a live where on YouTube. I couldn't do it on TikTok, where we could actually use some of the simulators that are actually on the internet and show you some of the different things that the expectations of a nuclear detonation on a specific spot using a specific type of munition. We could do that at another time if you guys really want to do that, So, getting back to the point of getting back on point, should I say? If we're not talking to our friends, if we're not talking to our family, if we're not just trying to assess the people around us, then we still have our head in the sand, and we have to get it out. I've said this a couple times already. I don't know if it's catching on or not, but I think the time of the quiet prepper could be over. The only way that we survive this as a group, a lone wolf is a dead wolf. It's that easy. People ask me all the time, do you have a community? Do you have a group? It's like, oh, I've tried. And no one ever lives close enough to you, and everybody is all like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And and it's weird because within the group, that's like everybody's like, do we have a plan? Are we going to meet someplace? Are we all going to come to somebody's house and bring our stuff? And it's difficult because it's difficult to find a like-minded individual who lives within driving distance of you. You know, it's a little difficult. So there we go. It's exhausting. So we have to take a good hard look at that and actually talk to some of our friends and some of our family. And you know, we had a Patreon meeting at 7:30. We try to do it every week at 7:30, and try to, you know, just typical. Hey, talk. We got the new people, old business, new business, anything else, and then we close it up and we move on. You know, but we have to find a way to do it. And for me, I've talked to a lot of people. I'm going to hunker down. Everybody knows in my community knows who I am. If they show up, they show up. They can put tents in my front yard. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Will I have enough food for everybody? Probably not. But hey, man, bring your kitchen with you. It's that easy, you know. Just another person who I know who that is. Says people are a resource. Absolutely, 100%. You know, they might have skills that they might be a doctor, they might be a lawyer, they might be a sewage engineer. And everybody has a skill and a trait and something that they can be good at that can be helpful. Now, if their skill is Xbox 360 or PlayStation 5 and collecting checks, yeah, they're probably going to need to move on. They're probably going to need to move on because you can't trust them. And that's a shame. That's a shame because there's a lot of people out there that are like that. And there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. I think that's the sad part, you know. There's nothing we can do about it. I don't know. What else can we talk about tonight? Because I took my B12 and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I took my B12. I'm drinking my sweet red over here. Yep, right there. Marine Corps cup. Love it. I think I'm in your Discord. I'm happy to finally catch a live. If you are, I don't want to be rude, Petty Bay. The Petty Bay, I don't recognize your name, but if you're in my Discord, then yes. Let's see here. I have a lot of those around me. I know, well, Scott, we've talked before, and, you know, I know you've got family around you that are preparing, or they probably just, it's their lifestyle. They've always been that way. You guys were probably all raised that way. And that's good. I think that's awesome, you know. So it's it's really messed up too, because I know that there is a militia near where I live. And but I don't want to have anything to do with them, and if they know who I am, they don't want to have anything to do with me, and that is fine. But that's I think it's best just to stay away from them. Unless they decide to come and force take my shit. Let's see here. Just started. William says, just started. I have 6 months of food and water put up. Next biggest step, ? I mean, if you've got 6 months of food and water put up, you are ahead of the power curves. Do you have some way to protect yourself? William Johnson. What's up, little miss? How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. But no, that's the serious, because like I said, water, food, protection. Or water, food, firepower. If you've got some way to protect it, otherwise you just basically made a pile of stuff for the bad guys. What do we got here? Little miss, I'm good. Just trying to get my house together as always. That never ends. You got one black powder rifle, one compound bow, and one pistol. Well, I would say that is a good start. Sam says steel or ceramic plates. Depends on how much money you have, bro. It also depends on your physical fitness level. Well, that's a lot of bullets, William. Is a rain barrel a good idea? A rain barrel is an excellent idea. Let me talk about that one in a second here. So back to Sam. steel or plastic plates. So if you're running steel plates, steel weighs a lot. And if you once you you're going to have it on a plate carrier, obviously, and sooner or later you're going to end up putting magazines on, and next thing you know, something else is attached to you, and that's a lot of weight. So if you're not healthy, if you're not in shape, then I recommend the ceramic plates to lower the weight. Let's see here. 5,000, where are we at here? Is a rain barrel a good idea? Yes, any kind of water catchment system is a good idea. Worst case scenario, you catch yourself a bunch of dirty rain. You just run it through a water filter. Run it through a water drop or a Berkey or some kind of water filter. You know what I'm saying? And then you're golden. Now, there's obviously some smarter ways of catching all that rain that you might want to do a little research on. Maybe like a proper water catchment system. But yeah, a rain barrel, hell yeah, put one on every downspout and, get a spigot on that damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not concerned about spalling. I use ceramic. A lot of the modern steel plates have a. I was actually listening to a video on this today. It's there's a polymer fabric that is over the top of the steel now, and rhino liner over the top of that. If you own one of the old steel plates like I do, then go get yourself some of that rhino liner spraying and put 3 or 4 coats on it, and you're good to go. Let's see here. Let's see. Is that all? Oh, is that all? He's joking. It's like Linux. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Doomsday, what's going on, man? Yeah, the video I was watching this morning was talking about the differences and how they've actually started putting it's like a polymer. It's very almost like soft fiberglass. They'll wrap the plate and then they'll dip it in like a coating, like Rhino Liner or Line-X. In this particular case, it was Rhino Liner. What do we got here? Prepping rule for me: cardio and weight training. Cardio. That's rule. Is that rule number 1? Cardio. That's from that damn movie about the zombies. We're at here. We shot up a few different steel AR 500 last weekend with the anti-spalling on. Set up balloons, spalling all over. Let's see here. But how old is that AR 500? Because, like I said, all the modern stuff has a coating on it. I think the other thing to remember too is that it's going to be inside of a plate carrier, and that's going to catch some of the spalling. You'll have clothes on that will protect you somewhat. This anticipation that it's going to go straight up into your face is a possibility, but I would say that there's ways to mitigate. I'm not saying that steel is better, because God knows I don't like carrying that weight. In fact, I actually make my own body armor, so it's kind of a moot point. Let's see. My husband's plates have fabric like coating on them. Yeah, exactly. But the government gave them to him. Newer stuff was a gun range doing a gun show. Gotcha, Sam. Yeah, I have some of the original AR 500 plates, and I actually use those. I use those 2 plates. I've got the curved plates, and I use those as my my templates to make body armor with, and then I just put it inside of it, and I clamp everything together and let it dry. Oh my God. Let's see. I don't see anything happening inside the chat over here. Looks like Violet's is still hanging on. Just listen. That's cool. Let's see. What part of the U.S. in general? I garden with plates. I garden with plates and firearm. The neighborhood didn't mess with me, and it's a good workout. That's too funny. FEMA Zone 4. Okay, I'm 6. Around 2 hours from a local prepper. You didn't think I know? Huh, they're having a little conversation over here. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Do you have a video of making the body armor? No, I do not. I don't because I know it will stop. I never have time to finish it. It's one of my 1 million projects that I never have time to finish. I know it stops, was it 155 grain 9mm? It's basically 100 layers. Now, in that case, that was 80 layers of tight mesh fiberglass with standard resin and epoxy. Well, not epoxy, but resin and hardener. And that did stop multiple. I never had a knife. I shot basically a magazine of 9mm into it. It would not go through. It did need an impact plate on the back. Probably a good chunk of thick rubber on the back would probably take care of that. But that's still significantly lighter than the AR 500 armor. You building a Batman suit? I am Batman. No, I am Batman. No, I'm not building a Batman suit. I just, I use the government body armor forever. And, I've seen the white powder that falls out of it, and I know that it decays. And they even tell you if you drop it, it could become unserviceable, so it's not super durable. But body armor has come a long way. And I just thought to myself one day, you know what? I could probably make it because basically all it is a buttload of it's fabric that will grab the bullet using friction. That's the Kevlar, okay? And the other idea behind body armor is the ceramic, which is a series of impact or crumple zones, just like a car. All the modern cars today have all the crumple zones, so it absorbs all that energy. That's how it catches that bullet. And then it finally hits a layer after it's slowed down that it can grab it and hold on to the bullet. So if I could create that, the problem is it's super, super time consuming. I have a box in that closet back there that is full of 100 perfectly cut body armor shapes that I haven't glued together. I haven't used with resin yet. And like I said, it does work with 9mm, but what I think what it is, I'll be honest with you. I think what it is because it takes so long to make that I don't want to shoot it. I want to believe that it's good enough. Because I have a plate that I shot that's got, like I said, all right, hold on a second. Give me 1 second. It may actually be in the other room. Hold on. Maybe I stuffed it in here. Nope. Damn. Sorry, I must have thrown it away. But yeah, it definitely works for 9mm. It'll stop 45. I never fired a 38. It'll stop 38 special, but I did not fire 357 at it. But I really wanted to shoot AR at it, and like I said, it just takes so long to make it. I didn't want to shoot it. But I guess that's a project that I need to finish at some point. Shoot up the armor. If it was easy to make, I would probably be shooting the hell out of it, to be honest with you. But that's just what's happening in my world. I'm kind of locked in on 7,000 other projects right now, and I'm still healthy enough to carry the AR-500 around with me. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm a dick. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. So the resin. RC best solution is to be around people. They're going to get hungry. You can buy blue square 5-gallon camping jug waters that can stack. They come with a spout. Window liquor. Are you talking about those water jugs? LP, I'm glad I don't live near him. I talk his ear off already. No, you're good. Good stackable water solution for a condo or a high-rise apartment. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. Window liquor. Are you talking about those blue stackables that you can, or those blue water jugs that you can buy at Walmart? I don't know if they stack or not. If you could confirm that, that would be great. Because I've got two, and they're just sitting next to each other. I've never actually noticed if I can stack them on top of each other. That would be, I guess I need to start stacking some water up. I don't really get too concerned over water because I have a well. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Maybe buy a couple more and start stacking water. Let's see. What else do we have going on in prepper world? Who here? I know somebody who is, but who here is going to prepper camp? Is anybody going to prepper camp? Yes, that's a real thing. Put plywood in between them. Why? They stack. Sam B. Reddy says they stack, but not good for long-term storage. Light can penetrate. So just store them in a dark place. Let's see here. What on earth is prepper camp? Ha ha ha! That's hilarious. Let's see here. Linda Liquor says use the plywood to distribute the weight. Gotcha. No, prepper camp is a real thing. It's like an outdoors convention for preppers. It's just loaded with. You can literally just Google prepper camp, and it's basically a lot of the mainstream preppers will be there, and I'm going to actually be camping. They're on the property. And I know of another one who will be there, but I haven't heard from any others though. So, but yeah, lots of classes on survival, basically everything we talk about, all the stuff that you wanted to know, it's going to be going on at prepper camp. You can sign up for the classes, sit in on them, you know, it's like 2.5, 3 days long. So, old school swap meets are cool. Yep. We've got a new mention over here. Let's see who's talking about me. Who's saying stuff. Let's see here. So Frosty posted stackable water jugs. Where? All right, let's see here. What else we got going on here? We talked about some armor. We talked about trying to get the word out that the sky is falling. The window is closing. The window, at some point, the things that we buy as preppers will be so expensive that we cannot afford them anymore. And that's when we know the window has closed. I just gave you the triggering event. I just told you when it's game on. I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. What is that? Oh, I've seen those. Violets is that you're down there in the chat there. Violets I've seen those before, and you could stack those because they have like buttholes in the bottom of it, don't they? I've seen those before, but I don't know how high you can stack them. If the grid goes down, how long do you think it will be off? Huh. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how. The problem is, so here's the problem. So, if it's not about if the grid goes down. So there's two scenarios. The first scenario is that some devious, nefarious country hacks our infrastructure and shuts our infrastructure down, our power grid down. That won't take long to resolve. It really won't take that long to resolve. Probably 2 weeks to a month, 3 months tops. It's because at that point it's a software thing. It's not a hardware thing. Now, if it's an EMP and the EMP is basically just basically fries everything, you could easily be looking at a year plus. And the reason is because there's not enough spare parts to just replace all these things. And then there's parts production, making the parts, communicating to buy the parts, delivering the parts. Yeah, that's a thing. That could be down for a long period of time. I think the key thing is to make sure that you are prepared for that to happen. I mean, it's a joke because that used to be a thing in the YouTube prepper community where people were doing videos about how this weekend the power's off, and then he goes to a video where he goes to his main breaker and he turns the power off. And then it's a test to see how things are going to work and what's going to happen and how he adapted and what he learned, you know. And I haven't seen that in a while, but it's something that happens, and it's something that I think more people should be doing. You know, sometimes people, yeah, I've seen people that lose their damn mind when they can't get their damn phone to work. What's going to happen when they can't cook their food because they have an electric stove, you know? What's going to happen when, you know, they're living in the middle of nowhere and they think everything's going to work right, you know, and they find out that their toilet won't flush now because that's dependent on an electric water pump that goes to their well, you know? It's I think that we need to be doing more of that. More practice, you know. It's like people who buy lots of firearms and then go to the range a couple of times and go boom, 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 boom. Yep, it works, and they put it in the box and they put it on the shelf and they never touch it again. I think that we need to do more. There needs to be more action and less talk. There needs to be less planning and more execution. People talk a good game. You know, it's an unfortunate byproduct of the type of preppers that we are. Western preppers tend to buy things instead of learn things. And it's a way of doing it, but when it runs out, it runs out. It's just that easy. I can hear better here than Discord. Oh, that's cool. Let me check that. Maybe my microphone is down or something like that.
I hear you fine.
I got you, Scott. Yeah, well, what normally happens, JDM, is a lot of times Discord defaults your volume at like 25%. So you may have to turn your volume up within Discord, not on your phone. It's not a big deal. But let's see. I practice shooting when I build a new smoke pole. Let's see here. Wait 6 months to upgrade the pole from Delta Pass to 3-phase. I just got it done last month. Gotcha. Learn to be self-sufficient and less dependent on technology. Yes, absolutely. I'm a technology buff. I love technology. And I think that there's a place for it in prepping, but it's got to be smart technology. It's got to be technology, I hate to say it, but like old school technology, because every single thing is so dependent on the internet now. It's like it's like video games. When they first started making video games, everything was about that disc and that machine, and you played the game. And then they made it so that you didn't need the disc anymore. You could just go online and download the game, and then it was the game and the machine. Now it's, hey, you can't play this unless we update. And they update like every day and a half. And there's just this constant dependency on the internet for every little stupid thing that we do. So I believe that we should be looking at technology that is not internet dependent. And that's one of the things that I'm working on. I had found a device. I'm going to be making a video on it tomorrow. So I would pay attention to my YouTube and my TikTok page. And yeah, I'm going to tell you to go buy the damn thing. It's that easy. It's absolutely, I'm serious. I am so jazzed about this device that it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You plug it in and it works. And there's no internet required. It's that freaking easy. And I think that it should be in every prepper's Faraday cage. I think that they should have two of them. I think that they should have the one that they use all the damn time, and I think that they should have one that's inside their Faraday cage, and you could buy them for less than $40 a pop. It's absolutely amazing. I can't tell you much about it. I told my patrons about it. They're pretty jazzed about it. They get first dibs on this thing that I found. So you know what they say, membership has its privileges. I think, yeah. I'm really jazzed about making the video too. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. What else can we talk about? I'm a new, alrighty then, I'm a new Patreon of yours. I first saw you here on TikTok. Oh, I got you. Hey, what's up, man? I'm not going to say your name, but I recognize your thumbnail. I know who you are. Let's see here. Maybe it's, hey. Let's see. 6 months. All right. I think the Discord is slowing down. Everything is, what the hell's all this? Oh, we got so there's in the Discord, there's I think it's a woman who's a nurse, and she is in Australia, but she's from either Taiwan or China, I think, and she has some unbelievable stories. Let's see here, and I may have to paraphrase. Let's see. I guess she's listening someplace, but I think about the window. Isn't the clothes or not? They still exist, but barely hold themselves together. Medical. 1. Melbourne had medical crisis code red. The ambulance lined up to the ED and patient not been seen for 3 to 5 hours. Talk about the condition as one cat should be CPR kind of situation. They still won't be seen. 2. People had serious condition like shivering after the jab. They were asked to phone the hotline to exclude the serious condition rather than go to the hospital because they don't able to be seen. 3, family doctor refused to see client, had flu symptom. As a result, 6 people go to the hospital to ask for help. I will call the window isn't shut. It is just fall on people's heads. Well, I'm sure some of that was lost in translation, but yeah, if you guys aren't part of the Discord, you really need to get your asses in there because like every single day, we're just this is the digital community that I'm trying to build, where people can just talk every single day. And I think if we get enough people in there, sooner or later, we're going to be able to connect the dots and say that person is only, if we get enough people in there right now, I think the closest person to me is like 2 hours. And then next thing you know, there's somebody who's an hour away. And next thing you know, there's somebody a half an hour. And then 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And then now we're building this network to where we can actually like reach out to each other, where we can actually maybe organize something, where we can maybe formulate a plan, something like that. And that's the real purpose of the digital environment, to actually be able to try and bring the people together so we can do that physically once we get enough of those dots connected. Let's see here. Did you say window? I agree to that. Internet of Things isn't necessarily a good idea. Talk about prepper camp. Oh my God. So, hey, Doomsday, dude. So I have a friend of mine who is a whiskey connoisseur. I drink when I went to that thing in New York to talk to those people about constitutional stuff. The day before, him and I had just met, and he's a Marine too. He's out now. And we had ate some of the same dirt, so we immediately. It's very refreshing being around people that are very much like you, and so we ended up going to get a drink at the tallest bar, or the highest bar. It's on the 52nd or 54th floor of a hotel in downtown New York City, and then let's see. Anyway, so. He's drinking this like double shots. Something just happened to my phone. That's weird. He's drinking double shots of some, $200 whiskey. So I contacted him today. I was actually thinking about what you were talking about, and the last time we talked, and. About prepper camp, that is, and anyway, so I said, hey, I want a good whiskey that I can take to prepper camp with me, and me and Doomsday can sit around the fire and drink whiskey. So I'm gonna find He gave me some recommendations, and then he narrowed it down to one really good one that's $50 or under, and I'm gonna be bringing that. And I'm not a whiskey drinker, so we're gonna give that a shot. Let's see, fun and informative. Where is that? JDM, are you going to prepper camp as well? That would be interesting. See, now everybody wants to know. So for those people that asked, prepper camp is basically a. I'm gonna break the YouTube page real quick here. Let's see here. I'm looking through, where are we at? Prepper camp. There we go. So yes, it's a real thing. We're going to throw that up there. Prepper camp is a real thing. It goes in September. And basically you just go in, you can learn lots of stuff from very, very, very intelligent people that have lots of time in the prepping lifestyle, but yeah, it's a real thing. I stumbled across it last year, and I was like, damn, I just missed it. It was like October of last year. And then the girlfriend and I were like looking for some vacation to do something. And we're trying, like, this has got to be something that we really enjoy. It's not going to cost us an arm and a leg, and we can be, we don't have to spend 90% of our time traveling. And so, yeah, let's go to prepper camp. So that's what we did. We actually signed up kind of late because the camping spots were they're running out really, really fast. JDM says, I'm going to try to come. Hope to have our fifth wheel by then and can just stay on the grounds. That's going to be tricky, JDM. That's going to be tricky because, like I said, everything is booked. It's so booked. They had to put me on a special list to get into the primitive campsites, And those aren't even like locked in. They're like, okay, so we know that 10 people are coming and we have 10 spots and that's all we're doing. That kind of thing. So you might be wanting to you probably want to look at one of the surrounding hotels. I think you're kind of screwed. You can definitely give them a call. Their phone number's right there on the website. But, yeah. One second, guys. I need something to drink.
Hey, I got something about your water storage.
What in the hell? All right. Who was that made all that racket?
Yeah, I've got something about your water storage.
Oh, I got you.
We get chlorine. We get like 2.5 gallon jugs.
Yeah.
And they do stack. You can stack them like 3 high.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. I've seen those before. Those are the kind that have the little bung holes in the bottom, so that the spout goes up inside of them, right?
Water storage, or is it somebody else?
These have a handle, and then the wide mouth lid on it, and you just turn them sideways.
You could stack them sideways?
Well, you have to turn it sideways so it'll fit, because the bottom has the shape of the top.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, okay.
Now, the Pence a Penny ones, I believe they're smaller. The ones we get is commercial, and they're like 2.5 gallons.
I got you.
Now, I add some Teflon tape to mine because they're not, they are, but evaporation,
Yeah, I got you.
I do it just.
Yeah, hey, Doomsday, why don't you come into the Discord and tell us about your booth and what you're going to have set up there at Prepper Camp?
Can I ask some questions about the water storage now that I'm on the chat, the voice chat?
Yes, Bob C, you're on the air. What can I do for you?
Yeah. So I guess it was Scott, but I wasn't sure who it was. The other person was talking about the water. I think what I would, at least in the apartment, I would want to store, several high in one place, like the bathroom or like in a closet or somewhere. But I don't want them to be so heavy that they break the bottom ones and create a big mess and emergency that costs some money.
Yeah, definitely. Weight is always an issue when you're storing water. There's literally nothing you can do about it but just doing it smart. You know what I'm saying?
And build a frame, yeah.
Yeah, once you start stacking that water, that weight, it's basically you're doubling the amount of weight every time you stack another water jug on top of the next one. So, yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah. I have a small closet where it is like literally almost the width of 1 or 2 water things. If I build shelves, if I build something solid that has the ability to support weight, I could put them on shelves in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. So I won't worry too much about the details of it. I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm also thinking, just the whole thing, being in a building like that, what do you do when you bring your trash out? If somebody sees you bringing trash out 3 weeks later, they're like, wait, here's food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. There's a lot of indicators that could easily, identify you as somebody that might have, food storage.
Yeah. So that would be the thing. It's like, how do you compact trash, or how do you get rid of it when you can't bring it out, or
Well, a lot of people, you have to look at that. That's kind of something you would have to do covertly. I would say you would probably need to plan to store your trash long term, and that might actually require some form of compactor, like you just said, which a lot of people don't have these days. Then there's the whole compactor bag thing. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's an interesting question. You have a compactor, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you? It's like no matter what you do, it sounds like you're screwed.
Yeah.
Have you seen Shawshank Redemption?
Yep.
A little bit of sand in your pocket at a time. Same with your garbage.
You're gonna go walking down the road, and a banana peel's gonna fall out your leg.
Exactly. How'd that get there?
Let's see. But yeah, that's definitely something. I mean, I hadn't really thought about it because I live in the middle of nowhere, and both of the properties I could easily burn without creating lots of smoke. That's how I would get rid of it. The other thing is burying it. Taking it in your backyard and just start dig your ass a big ass hole, and just start burying it.
Well, one thing I do is I know I can like put stuff in a suitcase and pretend I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But like if there's EMP and everything's down, they're like, where are you going in a suitcase?
Yeah.
It's almost like the ideal solution is to really have a bug out and have stuff somewhere else.
Yes. The other thing too is to have preps that don't produce a lot of trash.
Yeah.
If you think about it, probably 90% of the trash that we take to the dump is packaging. It's some kind of packaging, but either it's cardboard or it's plastic or cellophane. You know what I'm saying? Or a can. And that's if you have preps that don't have a lot of that. For instance, in the military, we used to break down our MREs before we went to the field because we knew that was more weight. All the extra packaging was going to be a little bit more weight. It also took up more space. It made the MREs bigger than they needed to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you could find preps or set up preps that don't have a lot of packaging, unnecessary packaging, then you're probably obviously that's going to equate to less trash.
Biodegradable packaging.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, outside that, if something is in a Mylar bag, that's a different story. But
yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Someone just said, but if you're concerned about people knowing about your trash, they will smell the aroma from cooking. If I'm cooking, they're going to smell my cooking, all right.
I think my plan is going to be. We talked about this a little bit. I didn't get into the Discord tonight or the chat, but my strategy is to just coordinate with a lot of people and keep my preps distributed at trusted friends' houses.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Colin says I do the same with all my items: unpack and reseal.
All right, thanks. I'll be quiet now.
Well, the other thing too is I saw one of Pineapple's videos where she was she had been taught a hack on how to store. I can't remember exactly what it was. It almost reminded me like bags of rice. Basically, they put you could put like 8 of these bags inside of one of the permanent cereal containers that like the kind you can buy at Walmart. And then that takes up so much less space. It's easily moving around and it's even more protected, Yeah. So, those are some things to think about right there as far as packaging and resealing and, things like that. I'm pretty sure Collins was telling a little bit of a joke, but that's what we do. I mean, honestly, I plan to thrive, not survive. Surviving is for suckers. So I love coffee and I love grinding my own coffee beans because the coffee tastes about 1,000,000 times better.
Yeah.
But one of the problems is that coffee beans will only store for so long. So I'm constantly rotating my supply. And one of the ways that I do it is I actually take them out of the bag that they're in, because even though that's a vented Mylar bag, air still gets inside of that bag that those coffee beans come in. So what I'll do is I will take I will pour those bags into vacuum seal bags, and then vacuum seal those bags, because oxygen is the killer for coffee beans.
So you're saying the vacuum sealed bag is better than the factory sealed?
Oh, most definitely,
bag.
most definitely. Because that's the killer. Because the killer for coffee beans is that coffee beans have oil in them, and once that oil is absorbed into the atmosphere, then the bean is like really, really bad. It just tastes awful. So you make it so that the oil can't get away, and you just put them in vacuum seal bags. And
one thing I bought at Dollar Tree, there were 7 in a minute, but it was just Folgers coffee crystals, and they were like an individual thing.
Yeah.
And like I went back to Virginia, and I was like, I didn't have my coffee, here. I mean there, and I was like, let me try them. So and I had like 2 or 3 of them, and they seem like they're like a year out, but I'm sure that they probably be good for about 2 or 3 years. The individual serving was pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is you can buy a lot of different ones, but what a lot of people don't know is that the coffee that instant coffee that we buy, it's freeze dried.
Yeah.
So it's going to last like 25 years as long as you don't let any.
I figured it's going to last much longer than they say on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to last for a long time as long as you do not. So the enemy to freeze dried food is not oxygen; it's actually water, moisture. So it's like, so if you buy freeze dried coffee, and it could be the cheapest freeze dried coffee on the planet, right? And as long as that seal's not broken, and it will break because it's a paper seal, that freeze-dried coffee is good for like 25 years, no problem. It's going to taste exactly like the day it was freeze-dried. But the problem is, if you ever notice, like if you open up like a can of freeze-dried coffee and you don't you drink it for a while and then you stop drinking it for like a month, and then the next thing you go back and it's a big clump, and then you're like, oh, I'll just break it up and use it. Then it doesn't taste the same anymore. That's because I haven't had
that problem yet. I mean, I managed to go through just cheapest freeze-dried coffee and use it up.
Yeah. Well, my point is that once you have cracked the seal on it, that moisture is going to cause a problem. Now, what you can do is you could take that freeze-dried coffee, if you really want to long-term store it, you could take freeze-dried coffee, put it in vacuum bags in a vacuum sealer, and just suck all the damn oxygen out of it. Even throw an oxygen absorber in it, and it'll indefinitely. And here's the funny thing: there's companies out there that, and I won't use any names because I have my own specific brand that I like, and even them, they're expensive. They'll try and sell you a bucket of coffee for like $175, and it's just freeze-dried coffee.
Yeah.
You can literally do it yourself. You can go to the Dollar Tree and buy every little bottle that they have and take it home and pour it all into one, vacuum seal bag and suck the air out of it and put an oxygen absorber in it and stuff it. And now you have coffee that's going to last you 25 years, and you probably spent $25 on it. Tops. If you bought every one of the little things, $25.
I'm going to look in thrift stores to see if I can find a vacuum sealer.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely amazing. I use those things for everything. The only thing they don't work good on is things that don't like light. If it's something that had to be in a dark bag purposely, then it's not very good. But I mean, you could still freeze dry it and then put it in a container that doesn't allow light into it.
Yeah, put it in a Mylar, put it in a bucket.
Hey, can I chime in? If you have a dirt cheap near you or something like that, because they're always having food savers there for like $18, $20, $30.
The place?
It's called Dirt Cheap. We have it down here it's like one of those overstocked warehouses or damaged warehouse, and they ship all their stuff there, and you can buy stuff there.
Like Building 19 or something in Massachusetts. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But there was a comment on the TikTok from Colin, says freeze dried seems to be the route. Where was that? Freeze dried seems to be the route I have been going with. Food kits, more pricey but more shelf life. Absolutely, Colin. Freeze dried, once again, as long as you store it correctly, which is really not that difficult to do, that's your long term preps. And I've done videos on the ones that I just absolutely. The one I did on the Mountain House that had no flavor whatsoever. It was absolutely awful. And then what is it? My Patriot. Right now my favorite is My Patriot Supply.
Right, the Ready Hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to test some of their food, and it tastes good. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. The green beans were actually crunchy, like Snap crunchy, after I rehydrated them. Not crunchy like as in dry crunchy, like Snap, like a fresh green bean.
Yeah.
So I was extremely impressed with that.
So crunchy as in blanched and then freeze dried. Yeah.
Yes.
So not mushy. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Exactly. But no, they tasted like a fresh green bean. I literally, and when I did the test, what I did was, one. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. One, I actually just followed the instructions on the package. But two, I didn't add any salt to it. I didn't throw any bacon in it. There was no back fat, no butter, nothing. Just exactly like they said make it. And it just tasted like a fresh green bean. I was extremely surprised. But I could see that I could make lots of changes to those green beans to make them really good, So I was kind of happy with that.
Yeah. I did buy bulk, like a bag of green beans, just from a place that's not a prepping place, but and I still have to put them up in Mylar, but I'm going to try them and see if they taste any good.
Yeah, that's Colin says Mountain House bad and packed with too much testosterone for us men. I don't know what that means. Haha, you made a joke. You made it funny. I love it. But no, I did a video on the Mountain House video. It was supposed to be like Thai chicken or something like that. And it smelt like hot dogs and had no flavor whatsoever. In the pouch, it looked good. In the pouch, it looked like an MRE after it had been rehydrated. So I was really, really excited. And then I just was like, no flavor whatsoever. I mean, it didn't even taste bad. It just had no flavor. I was like, no. I mean, if this is what I have to eat to survive for a short period of time, that's fine. But at a certain point, I may stop eating this food and start eating bark because there would be flavor when I ate the bark. So, yeah, that's fun.
So I have another question, and this has to do with self-storage. Obviously, food in a self-storage place is a recipe for disaster. But is there stuff that you can? I would assume something a number 10 can that's sealed with freeze-dried in it is not going to attract any animals.
No, I mean you should be pretty safe with that. I would be more concerned with the temperature.
Yeah. So for the short term, I'm picking a climate-controlled facility, but that ranges from 55 to 90. I mean, or to 80, or 55 to 80 is what they'll go. But that's still, but I guess I would monitor the temperature to see how it does.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, they say as long as you're between 40 and 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, you're okay. But I mean, if it's in one of the storage facilities where it's the middle of summer and it's just baking down and you can like watch the heat rise off the asphalt right outside of it, you might have a problem. But then again, you might not too, because a lot of the a lot of the concrete floors that are inside those storage places have a cooling effect.
Yeah.
So
they're thermal mass. Yeah.
Yeah, so that might help you. The other thing too is just make sure you get them off the floor. They say that you should never store freeze-dried food less than 6 inches off of a concrete floor.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in here, but so what else? What else are we going to talk about? I mean, it's only 10 o'clock, and that means it's like 7 o'clock in California. I don't know. It's 13 hours. Add 13 hours and it's Okinawa time. It's beer 30 somebody. My Chinese friend in Australia says, talking about the Faraday cage, could it become a time capsule and bury as a backup stock? Could you bury nearby your meeting place with your group, family preppers, and so on? I wouldn't use a Faraday cage for that. Because the Faraday cage is designed to block radio waves. It's not designed to block water, and that's the big problem with when you bury anything, is water seepage. I would find something that seals. One of the things that we used to bury in the military a lot were the ammo cans, because they actually have a rubber seal on them, and you could dig yourself a big ass hole and bury it down to where there's only a couple of inches of earth on top of it, and then just know where it is, and you could just pull it right out of the ground. That's what I would do if you wanted to create like a very fast time capsule, and didn't want to like make a PVC time capsule or a cache site out of PVC. That's the fastest way to do it. It's just get your hands on go to a military surplus store and get yourself one of your military ammunition cans. Make sure the seal is good on it, and you're good. It's that easy.
So you're saying use those instead of buckets? Like the companies that sell the freeze-dried food sell you stuff in a bucket, and they say to bury the bucket.
Oh, I've never heard of a company telling you to bury a bucket.
Well, I don't know if the companies tell you to do it, but like some of the people that sell it to, I'll tell you the name of the guy later, but he sells Ready Hour also, and he keeps saying, "Oh, bury the whole bucket," and I'm just imagining, I think people are going to get smart and they're going to say, I'm walking through the forest and this spot feels mushy. Therefore, that's the spot where the food is.
Yeah. So the trick to that is actually pretty simple. It's a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and make it just a little bit bigger than the size of your hole. And then what you want to do is dig down deep enough to where you can cover that with dirt as well. So so you can actually stand on top of it.
Right. So you put plywood just so that it doesn't give it away.
Yes.
Okay.
You still bury the whole thing. You still cover it with dirt, but you just have to dig down a little bit deeper now.
Make a piece of plywood bigger, and okay,
yeah,
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. But you don't want it to be so big that if you step on one corner, then another corner pops up, where clearly there's something hard underneath you. So it's just a bit of a support.
I like the idea of the ammo can because that's a little smaller.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as far as burying, I think that I would have a problem because, like I said, I had a chance to test, their food and the buckets that they came in, and those buckets are not waterproof. And
no, I didn't think they would be. I never opened one of them yet, but
yeah,
I don't trust them.
Yeah, I think they're okay just for stacking in dark places. I think that they do have like I would say it's more of like a friction type seal, but they're definitely not waterproof.
Okay.
So I don't know that, but I mean everything is inside of Mylar bags, but then again that's going to degrade as well. And then there's those Mylar bags have a plastic. I noticed that when I was testing them, that they have a plastic coating on the outside of them that feels almost paper-like you could write on it. And so that way they're basically they're printing their stuff on the bag. But that's going to degrade. Then you're not going to know what's inside the bag because it's been setting in water for however long. And then there's no telling whether the seal will break on the bag. So I wouldn't bury one of their, I might bury a good, I might bury a 5-gallon bucket with a gamma lid on it. But even then, the rubber on the gamma lid will eventually go bad. There's nothing to protect it. And you've got multiple failure points there because you're actually dealing with 2 seals instead of 1. But that's what I'm saying. I would just.
I think somebody said the gamma seal lids, you have to almost like fine tune them, like that. Sometimes as they come from the factory, they might not seal well.
Yeah, and the seals don't last forever.
Know how to fine tune it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So.
Well, the outer ring that actually goes onto the bucket, if you don't use those gamma lids after you buy them and you just let them set on your shelf, the seam that holds the seal itself together degrades, and it'll just come across, and you'll just have this string of rubber, But I mean, you could fix that by just pumping that thing full of silicone and letting it dry for a while, and then you've got a new seal. But once again, that's 2 points of failure, and it's just easier to buy a government metal ammo can that's got a good seal on it, and then bury the damn thing. Like I said, I've put those things in the ground and come back a year later and no problem.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. Just your experience with it, what you tried and true. I mean, rather than somebody, hinting at something they never tried. I mean, it's like just what works.
Yeah, I got you. No problem, man. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
Put about 6 inches below ground level, put some rebar. So if you got some guy with a metal detector, he'll dig down, hit the rebar, hopefully move off.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I think if he's got a metal detector, then he's earned my food. He can have it. I'll put a note in there. If you find this, you can have it.
Yeah, have a note. Good job.
Good job. Now, put something stupid like, good job. I'm watching you through my optics.
You now become a target.
Run.
Stop.
Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. I think it's funny that I have all these followers on TikTok, and there's 6 loyal people in here. But I have almost as many people inside the Discord right now that are either watching or.
TikTok is a funnel, okay, and right now that's a funnel that's going to get you some affiliate sales or some hopefully you'll eventually get a few subscribers.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, but it's also a Friday night thing too, so I'm not too concerned about it. I just always think it's funny. Sometimes the first rule, I've been on social media and YouTube for a long time doing different things, and it's one of the first things they tell you is never pay attention to the numbers, just get on there and do your thing. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's not, it doesn't matter. But you still catch yourself staring at those numbers. Let's see. GDM says, I was going to pop into the Discord live and say, hey, but my nose is so stuffy. That's all right, girl. You got this. We know you love us, and you should know we love you. You'll be okay. Let's see here. You're now in range is what my answer is put on my note. If you can read this, you're within range of my rifle. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. Like I said, we've been going at this for almost 2 hours. If you're not a Patreon, I definitely recommend that you join. We have a lot of information to pass. A lot of interesting things are happening. If you don't want to do that, then definitely get in the Discord. The link is in the bio or the description. I'll make sure it's there for you guys. Come check us out. If you like us, hang around. If not, go away. It's really that easy. We're building something here, and I think that it's going to be something that it's going to help a lot of people. All right, guys, especially my friends there on Discord. Thanks for showing up. I see you all in there. Bob, Frosty, JDM, Scott, Violets. Love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut down now. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.
Y'all know there's a mic thing at the bottom that y'all got to hit to talk.